If you haven't already, you may want to take a second look at your medical bills. Kaiser is now facing a lawsuit for reportedly charging patients for getting tested for COVID-19. NBC Barry's Stephanie Magallon tells us what exactly you should be looking out for on your bills.
This is a bill coming from Kaiser. In the first line, you can see a COVID-19 test that was covered by the insurance, but right below is a charge of $310 for what seems to be a flu test, which apparently wasn't requested by the patient. Well, that's the basis of this lawsuit. Kaiser patients across the state may be facing a similar conundrum after getting a bill like this for a service that's supposed to be free.
We have filed a class action lawsuit that was filed last week in Alameda County Superior Court.
Brian Devine, an attorney with Seeger Devine LLP, is representing Faye Getubig, who he says went to Kaiser for a COVID-19 test and weeks later received what he calls an illegal bill for $310. This complaint accuses Kaiser of conducting and charging for a multiplex test, which detects both COVID and the flu, and says Getubig tried disputing the charge, but Kaiser didn't budge.
So the class representative was tested in Sacramento. We have heard from people who were tested in Sonoma County. We've heard from people who were tested in San Francisco and received bills. So this does not seem to be just an isolated incident.
Devine says Kaiser insures more than 40% of Californians, so he believes the number of patients impacted may be huge. In fact, in just the last 2 weeks, he's heard from a handful of people with similar bills.
We don't know whether or not this is an intended effort by Kaiser to try to get people either to stop testing or to pass on some of those costs.
In a statement, Kaiser wrote in part that it's their policy not to charge for COVID testing, including a multiplex COVID test, adding they are reviewing their members' allegations and will fix it if they identify a technical error. Devine says he and his client just want to make sure this practice ends and doesn't deter our community from getting tested, especially at a time where COVID is still knocking on our doors. So take a look at your bills. In San Jose, Stephanie Magallon, NBC Bay Area News.